Hello and welcome. Whoop, wrong one. Why did I hit that? Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to work on a Lego set. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm also apparently here to make a very obvious mistake and just hit the wrong button on my stream deck. Before I get into anything, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, the tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. Let me adjust this here. And if you feel like being a lurker and you just want to lurk and you don't want to say anything at all, well, guess what? Full permission to lurk. You can just hang out. That's also cool. It's a Saturday night. It might be a chill Saturday night. We're going to work on a Lego set. Working on the Lego money tree. 'Tis the season with Chinese New Year around and all that. Now, in years past, I have done something for Valentine's Day. Generally a Lego set. This year, didn't really come together. Didn't really find anything that I was looking for Lego to put together. So I didn't end up getting one. Well, sorry. It just didn't happen this year. Maybe next year. Maybe next year I will be able to put together something ahead of time. I've built a lot of like Valentine's themed Lego, I guess, because there was just nothing out there that I hadn't built before that I was like, oh, I should get that for this stream. So I didn't end up doing that, and my apologies for that. But what I can say is that this Lego set is appropriate for this time of year because it is the Chinese money tree. So it does have significance for what we're doing here. So that's a nice bit of business. It's nice to have something that's a little significant to what we're up to and what we're getting into. I will go to the overhead camera. We will get involved in this Lego and get building. You already saw it before. I guess I should also say I have a piece of tape on my finger here. It might fall off as we build. That's just because I did have a little bit of I got caught. My finger got caught while I was doing some yard work, and I didn't put a Band-Aid on before the stream started, so I just put a little bit of tape on there. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's a little discolored right there and doesn't look particularly nice. And so, whereas this has faded and eventually you won't see it ever again. Hey, turns out when you're in your 40s and you get like cut or you get like a bit of skin gets scraped off, it takes a really long time for that to heal up properly. Which makes sense, but isn't like still not great, but it does make sense. But enough about that. Yeah, so that's just there because otherwise it's a little unsightly. I should have put a Band-Aid on, but I didn't, so I did this instead. We are building the tree here. We're getting what in traditionally I am to understand. Again, I'm no expert on this, but traditionally this is a terracotta pot. Representing a terracotta pot, and then you would go and you would get a branch or a shrub from outside, and you would plant that in a bunch of rice to simulate a tree growing inside the home. And again, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that is what I believe from the research that I have done. I am fairly happy right now with the color of this. So the real test is if I take this here and then I bring it here, you can see that it is not quite the same color. This red on this camera is not quite the same as the red here. Neither are actually accurate, but this is closer to how it looks for my eyes, is what you're seeing. I've worked around with the brightness and the contrast. Apparently it was the hue. I have increased the hue a little bit on the overhead camera not on the overhead camera, but in OBS. And it has gotten, this is closer to what I see is what you're seeing. So that's good. It happens. I did what I thought was a proper white balance with the overhead camera, but it definitely needs a little bit more fine tuning because sometimes the colors are just a little off, which is okay. It happens. So we need big here. We need small here. So yeah, we're building our branch here, our base of our tree, as it were. And we need some of these. We're doing a bunch of different shades here of this, which is really nice. Some really nice browns here. Different colors there to make this all work. And then we'll put this like this. And then that's going to go... One's going to go like that then. Yeah, okay. And then we do the same thing on the other side here. As we build up our tree, going vertical on this thing. I hope you're doing well out there on the old internet. It is a Saturday. It was I would describe it as fairly pleasant out here in South Carolina where I'm at. Pretty warm. It's warmed up a bit around here, which is nice. It's going to rain a little bit tomorrow afternoon, supposedly. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But right now it is calling for rain, which is not the best for me because I would like to go out and take a nice long walk. But sounds like that's not going to happen. It's okay. It is what it is. Let's see. This week was the DICE event here. And the DICE Awards, the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences 2026 DICE Awards happened last night. And of course, these are, by devs for devs. And there were, a bunch of awards given out. And we'll go. I figured let's go through the categories. Let's talk about them. This is the last. Of the big, I guess you would say, award shows of 2025. So it's good to kind of talk through those. Outstanding achievement in animation went to South of Midnights, which I think is fair. That is a gorgeous looking video game. The animation of that is top tier. So I think that is completely valid and reasonable to say. Outstanding achievement in art direction went to Claire Obscure. And I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah. Yeah, Expedition 33, I think that totally makes sense. Outstanding achievement in character went to Ghost of Yote for Atsu. And it's like, I haven't seen a lot of Ghost of Yote, but from what I have seen, that rings true to me. But again, I don't want to pretend like I'm an expert in everything that happens in that game. But yeah, it seems about right. Let's see. Astounding achievement in original music composition went to Ghost of Yote. Sure. A standing out achievement in audio design went to Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. And I have heard good things about that audio design. So it's like, okay, yeah, all right. Death Stranding 2 definitely didn't really hit with critics as well as the previous Death Stranding, but a number of game devs clearly did check it out. So yeah, because they also won for outstanding technical achievement. Achievement in story went to Claire Obscure. Claire Obscure, unsurprisingly, won a bunch of awards. Not surprisingly at all. Oops, I put this in the wrong place here. People were hot for Claire Obscure. It feels like a game that devs would be playing, Action game of the year went to Hades 2. Yeah, sure. I see that. Adventure game of the year went to Ghost of Yote. At this point, what are we talking about? How is Ghost of Yote an adventure game but Hades 2 is an action game? What does a fucking action game even mean? What are we talking about here? Maybe we can get rid of some of these categories. Maybe it's time to get rid of some of these categories. Family game of the year, Lego Party. Yeah, I have seen some people play Lego Party. It seems fun. Fighting game of the year, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. This is a weird one. Now, I should say, accepting the award on behalf of Digital Eclipse, my childhood friend Chris Kohler, my buddy Chris, who I did theater with in high school, spent a lot of time in his house. I was friends with both him and his brother, very close. One of the people from my high school that I keep the most in touch with, I attended his wedding. Lashbrook just subscribed with Prime. 98 months saying 98 back when Windows was good. Hey, Windows 98, pretty good. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. Thank Lashbrook for the continued support. That's so many months. Lashbrook, appreciate you very much. Thank you. Whoops. Get some of my emotes in here. Put some emotes in the chat. There we go. So yeah, with that being said, Chris, a longtime friend, happy that he was out there doing his thing. It's weird to have a collection of old fighting games win Fighting Game of the Year. It is odd for a game that had a lot of connectivity issues that made playing it online for various versions difficult. So that's kind of weird. But also, when you think about this being devs voting for devs, like, to me, that does make sense, that the collection and all the things you get with it, all of the history, all of the dev interviews and all that, when you take it out from that perspective, it makes a lot of sense for that to win, even if it had problems. Also, a lot of times, devs are happy to deal with, to accept issues if it means that, they get the thing that they want to play anyway. So, yeah. Racing Game of the Year went to Mario Kart World. Yeah, makes sense to me. Sure. Role-playing Game of the Year, Claire Obscure. A fucking course it got Role-playing Game of the Year. Sports Game of the Year went to Rematch. I barely know Rematch, but okay. Strategy Simulator went to the Alters, which makes sense to me. Online Game of the Year went to Arc Raiders, which would not be my choice, but sure. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. All right. Immersive Reality Technical Achievement went to Hotel Infinity. I have no idea about that one. I can't tell you anything about Hotel Infinity. Or the Immersive Reality Game of the Year, Ghost Town. I don't know anything about either of those games. Could not tell you any little thing about either of those things. And then Outstanding Achievement for an Independent Game went to Blueprints, which makes total sense. I am happy that I don't know the answer. I don't know if Claire Obscure wasn't nominated in that category because is it an indie game, or if people were just like, there's enough devs out there that are like, I'm not voting for Claire Obscure for this. I think this is Blueprints' category to win, and it's like, yeah, all right, cool. Mobile Game of the Year was Persona 5, The Phantom X, which has a mobile version, apparently. This is me finding that out. Sure. Outstanding Achievement in Game Design went to Blueprints, which is like, yeah, sure. Game Direction went to Claire Obscure, and also Game of the Year was Claire Obscure. Yes, of course. All right, so I am not sure. Okay, this goes in like that. Okay, goes like that. So let's get our branches in and our money notes. Let's get our red envelopes on here. Our representatives of red envelopes going on the tree. It's good. We're getting this low area done here. It's good. And then we've got to build more. We're going to lock these in place, it looks like, with some of this and some this and some of this. Okay. Nice and easy. Get that together. So yeah, that's DICE Awards. That is, again, like the last award show of the year, of 2025. And an interesting representation of what, game devs are going to be going for. There was an anecdote I read about a game dev that was there, or somebody that was there with the game dev that hadn't seen Lumines, the new Lumines, and was freaking out when that was in the was nominated because it was like what, which is very funny. I love hearing that someone didn't know that there was a Lumines out. All right, so this is going to be, this is going to be an interior piece because it's blue. We've had a few of these here. You can see these white pieces here and some of the green. Generally, and then there's also some colored pieces in here as well. Generally, because you're not going to see it, they can just use whatever they have. That is a good way to get through some, piece leftovers or whatever. It just doesn't matter. So that is often the case with things like this, where you're going to find pieces that are not the appropriate color because it doesn't matter. So that's why you end up with that. And then there are going to be things that go in here that will lock this in place, basically. So we'll get these, and these are different shades of brown, our lovely shades of brown here. Oh, it does look like it does tell me how these are going to go. This is a little bad on my eyes here. Kind of seeing where some of these pieces need to go. Let's see, did I do this right? Okay, I did that right. And now let's take the instruction booklet over here and just real quick make sure we're doing this properly. But really, it's just goes like that. And then we do the same thing on to other side. And now this is wobbly, but it'll be fine, but it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to fall out without a lot of pressure on it, which I wouldn't be putting a lot of pressure on it, so we'll be okay. And now we'll do the other branch section, which is going to be very similar to this. Almost identical. Not quite identical. Almost identical process. It's nice. And then we'll get into bag 3 and then both bag 4. I don't think we're going to finish this tonight. I think we're going to get a lot of it done, but I don't think we're going to finish this. We might finish it by the end of the stream. I don't know. But my guess is that we'll be concluding this on Monday and then starting something new. So I'll have to do another poll. But that's my thought, is that I'll do a poll tomorrow, a Patreon poll for my $10 patrons to decide what I do next. That's my guess anyway, is what we're going to do. Let's see. An update. You may remember that around the end of last year, because it happened during Tokyo Game Show. So you may remember that Capcom put out a whole thing about the Capcom Cup, which was coming in March. And they were like, hey, it's going to be in person. It's it's a whole weekend, but the Capcom Cup finals are on one day, and then the next day is the SFL World Championship, which is the Street Fighter League World Championship. And so we're going to do both those on the same weekend in March. You can go there in person. It's X amount of dollars. And hey, the early rounds are free to watch, but you got to buy a ticket, a digital ticket for the Saturday and Sunday shows, and you can buy a bundle. And people were like, no, we're not going to do that. Why are you charging so much money for this? What are you talking about? And Capcom was like, we hear you, and we'll get back to you on that. Well, they did get back to us, the world. Originally, if you wanted to watch the finals of the Capcom Cup, it was going to be $27, 4,000 yen. And if you were going to watch the Street Fighter World Championship the next day, that would be another $27. Or you could pay $40 and you could watch both finals. So if you want to watch finals that have previously been free, you could spend $40 to see them, which is more than the tickets to see it in person, which obviously you have to be in the area, but you get what I'm saying. And people were like, hey, what? No, don't, what are you talking about? No. and they were like, okay, yeah, we got you. We'll take care of this later. We got you. They're going to review the pricing and then we'll update. Okay, so the tickets have gone on sale and they are cheaper. If you want to see the Capcom Cup 12 finals or the SFL World Championship, you can do that for $6 or $10 to watch both of them. $6 each, $10 in total, which is, again, more than free, but less than $27. Also, eventually, they'll be free and everyone can watch them. So you'd be spending at the time $27 or $40 for the package to watch them before people watched it for free later. This is much more a reasonable price. Apparently, their excuse for why it's gone from $27 to $6 is that Japan is used to spending a lot of money for these kinds of things, and they didn't price match accordingly for a global audience. They just did the equivalent because they were like, oh, well, this is what Japan will pay for this, so other people will pay for this as well. Yeah, that's a lot more reasonable, Lashberg says, as we recently learned that $6 is really $5. Yes. Look, I agree with almost everything said there when they did that conversion. $6 is $5. $3 is basically free. When I see there's a video game that I'll be playing at the end of February, and I'm going to look up how much that is. But it was a game I saw a couple of streamers play, and I'm going to look up how much it is. It came out in December, and it is $3. So I was like, oh, I'll put this on my wish list. Saw that it was $3 and immediately bought it because I was like, oh, actually, no, I'm just going to buy this and I'm going to play that at the end of the month. Because that's just what? Yeah. So $6 for $6, which is really $5. It's like, yeah, all right. That's a game time decision. You might pre-order that, or you might just that day go, actually, yeah, I do want to see those. This tournament has been good. $27 is a commitment, and it makes sense why some people would be like, fuck no, what are we talking about here? But basically they were like, we carefully received the many opinions and feedback we received from the community. Although after thorough discussions for various departments within Capcom, we have decided the following: to revise the pricing of live viewing tickets and implement special collaborative initiatives within Street Fighter VI. Pricing was set based on the domestic Japanese benchmark of the Street Fighter League single-day live viewing ticket, which was priced at 4,000 yen, which is, again, $27. After reviewing pricing structures and cost of living standards across wide variety of global content, we have reevaluated the pricing to ensure that fans around the world can more easily enjoy the event. As a result, we have set unified pricing for both English and Japanese broadcasts. Also, a new thing that is happening. This is not the finals, which again cost money. This is the other events that are free to watch. During the group stage matches for Capcom Cup 12 and day 1 of the SFL World Championship qualifiers, Capcom will permit unrestricted co-streaming for anyone during this period. So you do not need permission, which in some cases you would certainly need in order to stream this, to co-stream, which is for Capcom pretty significant. That is Capcom Japan is listening to Capcom US, because that feels a very much like this will do. People will be amped about this, and we'll sell more tickets because people will be watching it on their favorite streamers channels, and then they'll have to pay to see the finals. They'll have to pay from us, and it is very, that is a very like Capcom of America bit of business, in my opinion. Obviously based on thoughts from previous things. That feels like, okay, yeah, that makes some sense. Look, people knew that when they said, oh, we're going to change things, it was like, oh, okay, it's going to be cheaper. Nobody knew how much cheaper. That's really fucking reasonable. I think $6 for the finals of a thing that you've been watching all weekend makes total fucking sense. And I think that's the right call. Because the previous call was obviously bad. So I think this call is not bad. Okay, yeah. So that was an update. I wanted to include that update. And then I really wanted to talk about this shit. Tubi has a licensing deal with Warner Brothers for cartoons. And a lot of goddamn cartoons are coming out to Tubi starting in March. And not all at once. I am just going to read you the list. Oh, sorry. I am just going to read you the list of. Hey, Lord Cratchton. This is just the amount of Tubi shows coming to Tubi, animated shows coming to Tubi on March 1st. This is not the full list. This is just the March 1st list. Animaniacs, Powerpuff Girls, original Powerpuff Girls, I should specify. Teen Titans, The Batman, Ben 10, the 2005 Ben 10, Pinky and the Brain, Justice League, Batman the Brave and the Bold, Dexter's Lab, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Tasmania, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Codename Kids Next Door, The Animated Mask Show, The Mask, I should say, not M.A.S.K, The Mask, and Yogi's Gang. Those are all the ones that are just the ones that are coming on March 1st. The WB, lots of WB stuff. Yes, this is a licensing, as I said, this is a licensing deal with Warner Brothers, including shows that have not streamed ever. The Dukes of Hazzard animated series has never been on a streaming platform before. Not even anything Warner Brothers. It wasn't HBO Max. The list is fucking long. The animated Dumb and Dumber, Freakazoid, Help! It's the Hair Bear Bunch. I don't know what that is. Hong Kong Phooey, which is of course, probably doesn't hold up. Good song, but probably doesn't hold up. Justice League, Legend of Superheroes, Lunatics Unleashed, which fucking sucks. Holy shit. Lunatics Unleashed is unbelievable. It is a like Y2K vibe coded relaunch of the Looney Tunes, and it's awful. It's unbelievably awful. A bunch of Looney Tunes shorts and 3D shorts and cartoons. Pinky, Elmira and the Brain, which is not just Pinky the Brain. That was the solo stuff. Pinky, Elmira and the Brain is different. New Scooby-Doo mysteries. Scooby and Strappy-Doo. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, the worst Scooby-Doo animated show, in my opinion. This is my opinion. You know, this is, you know, in my opinion, if you're talking about we want to talk about like what's a bad Scooby-Doo cartoon. Does it have Vincent Price's voice in it? Yes, it does. Does that save it from and make it a better than it is? No. Okay, so how does this go? Sorry, I got to see how this works here. Okay, so this goes like this then? Okay. So this goes like this. And then we turn it and we put these on. Like that. Great. That's bag 2. We got some extra pieces here, but we got all our bag 2 done. And so we can start getting into bag 3. Again, I don't think we're going to finish this tonight. We might finish this tonight. I don't know. Static Shock is also part of that list, which rules. The Heathcliff and Dingbat show, I don't know. The New Adventures of Gilligan, which is a unbelievably terrible cartoon. New Scooby-Doo movies. That eventually they're going to have a bunch of the Scooby-Doo movies. That was great. The Plastic Man comedy adventure show, which is honestly pretty good. I don't know if it holds up, but I remember at the time it being pretty great. So I'm cautiously optimistic about that one. Yogi Bear show, Tiny Toon Adventures, a bunch of Tom and Jerry stuff. Shaolin Showdown. Shaolin Showdown. Wacky Races and the Wacky Races reboot, the 2017 reboot of Wacky Races, which is pretty good, honestly. It's actually like pretty damn good. A lot of Yogi stuff. I don't remember Yogi's Space Race, but that's the one of the Yogis that I was like, there's Yogi's Space Race, Yogi's Galaxy Goof Ups, and Yogi's Gang, and Yo Yogi. And I'm like, I know some of these, but I don't know all of them. I don't know either of the space ones. But of course Yogi Bear went to space. Of course he did. Why wouldn't he have gone to space? I don't know. I don't know why he wouldn't. Who let an average bear get into space? Yeah, I don't know. Because he's smarter than an average bear. Secret Squirrel Show. The Super Globetrotters. God, that's not a good cartoon, but it's a fun one. It's not good. The Complete Mental Misadventures of Ed Grimley. Oh boy, that's not a good cartoon at all. Man, that's not good at all. The Ed Grimley cartoon. Fucking yikes. You didn't need to pick that up. I don't know what the Hair Bear Bunch is. Freakazoid, again, obviously a Stone Cold classic. Ed, and Eddie, great. The Dragon Lairs cartoon, fine. Cow and Chicken. Evil Con Carne has its place. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Not something that I watched a lot of, but I got respect for it. But they have some early ass cartoons in here. Adam Ant, Be Cool Scooby-Doo. When did Be Cool Scooby-Doo come out? Beetlejuice. They got the fucking Beetlejuice cartoon. Be Cool Scooby-Doo. When did this one come out? That is... When did this air? Oh, this is the 2015 one. Okay, yes. Man. That's an unbelievably 2015 cartoon. If you look up Be Cool Scooby-Doo, it is the series that came after Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, which is the best of the modern ones. Yeah, I mean, it's just very of that era. It is a goofy one. It was on Cartoon Network and Boomerang. Mystery Incorporated was actually, there was another Mystery Incorporated, and it's a future one. That's the one where there is the girl Marcy, aka Hot Dog Water, who ends up seemingly in a relationship with Velma. It's Velma and Shaggy date for a while in that series. That one's really great. So basically, Mystery Incorporated was like maybe for teens, and then so this was like the response of like, let's make a lighter, goofier one. It is the Teen Titans Go to Mystery Incorporated's Teen Titans, if that registers with you. it might register with you as how that worked out. Oops, sorry. Yeah, so it's redesigns. It's the first Scooby-Doo where Casey Kasem isn't involved at all, because he didn't do Shaggy in Mystery Incorporated, but he did do some voices. But this was the first one where he was not involved at all, because he had retired from voice acting. He played Shaggy's dad in Mystery Incorporated. I like that Matthew Lillard just became Shaggy's voice actor after the movies. Indeed, yes. Also, Kate Micucci took over the role as Velma in this one because Mindy Cohn had been doing Velma's voice since A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. And this was the one. And Kate Micucci, talented voice actor, singer, comedian. Kate rules. And she's also lovely, I'll just say. From personal experience, I can tell Kate Micucci is rad. Kate took over the role of doing Velma, and this was the first one she did Velma in, and I'd forgotten that was this one. But yeah, man, I should watch a little bit more of Be Cool Scooby-Doo, just because it was probably a shock to people that had like their Scooby-Doo was the previous one. It's probably a shock, but yeah, I haven't watched much of Be Cool. Also, the 1974 version of Addams Family, and also Tubi is getting Abbott and Costello cartoons. Wild selection of back catalog stuff. It'll be interesting to see some of them. I am sure that people will be doing deep dives into like, here's the new stuff that came out on Tubi that is worth watching and all that. But pretty cool. For the old people that figure out how to watch stuff on Tubi, yeah. I don't know. You know, you figure it out at some point. Sometimes you gotta, you know. You gotta do the work if you want to watch the stuff. And that, to me, that was some exciting news. So I thought I would share some of that, because it is nice that some of that stuff is going to end up on a home. And also, hey, it's Tubi. You watch some really bad ads that sometimes are weird volume levels, but in exchange, you get to watch all that stuff. Just don't have your ad blockers on because they'll freak the fuck out about that. Here's a weird bit of gaming news. There's some gaming news since Thursday, but not much, but some. There's a life sim RPG called Star Sand Island, which is a farming simulator. They went to early access this month, and apparently things are a little weird. Kickstarter backers didn't immediately get their release codes, and so people who didn't back the game could just go in, get the early access version immediately, and there was a distribution issue there. They launched, even though they were early access, they launched with $20 cosmetic DLC. And there's some stuff in the EULA that's weird. So, like, it's been a strange thing. It's not been the cleanest launch, I guess you could say. I think it was fair to say. Not the cleanest launch. Right. And then a bunch of weird shit was happening on the Steam pages. There were a lot of reviews, and there were a lot of glowing reviews from people who clearly hadn't really been playing the game too long. People that had less than an hour of total playtime and didn't have any other reviews listed on their profiles. And then eventually a lot of those reviews are gone. So that we don't have, like, you can't verify that for yourself, because those reviews don't exist anymore. But there are a lot of screenshots on Reddit and all that. And there's so they put an update up. So Seed Spark Lab put out a community update that was like announcement regarding artificial comments. It took a large number of overly positive praise comments about Star Sand Island appears across various social platforms. Is this some kind of overpraise as an attack? We have no concrete evidence, but it does feel as though someone may be doing this intentionally. What makes it even more puzzling is that this approach is not cheap, since leaving a review requires purchasing the game. And then apparently, since then, it has been revealed that some of these people that made these false things, some of the false ones, got a refund on Steam. So they bought the game, gave it a overtly, obviously glowing review, and then got a refund for the game. All of it feels very weird. There's a lot of weirdness going on with this. And it is believed that the majority of these positive reviews appear to be AI generated. And they ask that whoever is behind the reviews to please stop. And then, of course, there are theories about this, some of which is, did they do this? Did they use AI to create positive reviews, buy copies of the game, and then when they got noticed, quickly delete those comments and then get a refund? I don't think so, because why would they do that? Why would anyone do this unless it was people who were like, oh, I don't want to review bomb it. We'll just we'll make the studio look bad. I don't know. Or was it somebody who was trying to defend them and help them by doing this? I don't know. As Lewis Parker on Kotaku says, I have to wonder how anyone would benefit from damaging Star Sands Island's reputation by trying to inflate its rating on Steam. Reverse review bombing with AI bots? What will PC gamers think of next? It's just a weird story. I don't know what else to tell you. It's very odd. All right, we're ready now to make 4 more branches here. So we can do all of this at the same time because we're making 4 of these. So we'll get 4 of those, and we'll get 4 pumpkins. So we'll do the pumpkin thing here. Get our pumpkins going. I know these are pumpkins or lanterns. But we got our pumpkins going here. Let's see. Other story stuff. Apparently, the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection runs at 60 frames per second on Switch 2. So if that's how you're playing the original, not the upcoming second one, if you were playing the original one on Switch 2, now you can get 60 frames a second. Apparently that was an issue. Again, slow news weekend. We got his final big update, and it added improved HD resolutions for some of the games, as well as performance upgrade to finally let more demanding games run at 60 frames. We don't know. My gut is that they didn't have a dev unit for Switch 2 right away, because it sounds like a lot of studios didn't get Switch 2 dev units. So I could see Konami having them, but not enough when, the upgrade went out and they said, oh, we'll deal with that later. And they dealt with it later. It is somewhat good press to say like, oh, we were still, helping out with that and still making that look good. And now you can play it, and then, hey, get the second one when that comes out. Like, it's probably a good call on their part to do this. Let's see. Yeah. The new patch makes it possible to finally swap the confirm and cancel buttons on the setting menu, which is great. People love that. They love making it feel more modern and less, oh, you just took the Japanese controls and didn't switch them for international players. Oh, fuck. Okay. So now you can do that. And also, you can now have key binding options for mouse and keyboard on PC. That apparently was not in the original version of the collection, so now that's in there. And the PC version can now get to like 4K. Yeah, the Switch 2 version can now run Metal Gear Solid 2 and Snake Eater at 60 instead of being locked at 30. And there's a bunch of new different customizations for upscaling stuff. So good. And apparently this is the last one. And also, hey, if you're interested in picking that up, it's currently 30% off on all platforms. So if you wanted to, if that's a game that you would be interested in checking out, now you can. Let's get the... Is this the piece we need here? Is it the smaller one? I think it's the dark gray one. No, it's the 3 notches. So it's not these. This looks like the right color for that photo, but it's these because this is the 3 notch ones. Okay. It's these branches. We got to go like that. And like that. Looks neat, gotta say. Let's see, other news stuff. I don't know if there's any other news stuff. I can give you this update. You know, we'll talk about games and stuff, but I'll just say here, I have uninstalled Fallout 4. As you may be aware, I was been playing Fallout 4 since December, like around Christmas time. I got back into it, and I was going to stream some of it and show off the mods that I've been using on my subathon, and didn't hit the goal for that. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, in February, I'm going to do a night where I'm going to do the karaoke that I didn't get to do because I practiced all those fucking songs and I want to do the karaoke for that. And then I'll also do a showcase of that because neither is going to be an hour. I could do, or 2 hours. I could do 2 hours of singing, but I don't want to. So I'm going to do an hour and split with that. Yesterday, my game kept crashing. And I had just installed a new mod. So I was like, oh, it's probably this new mod. So I went and got rid of it and cleaned it out of the archive and all that. And I even went to a save before I had started that mod. Still kept crashing. Ah, fuck. Okay. Well, let me restart my computer. That's not it. Let me do... I use Vortex as the mod manager. Let me go into Vortex and see if there's anything settings I can refresh. I can dump a cache, see if there's a couple of things I can do. I looked up some stuff about like, hey, trying to find the symptoms, read some forums, looked at some options there. Could not find anything that would help me. Tried a few things, none of it worked. I said, okay, well, let me shut down the computer tonight because normally I just put my computer to sleep. I'll shut down the computer and then I will try tomorrow and maybe it'll magically work again. Because every once in a while it would crash, but like that happens no matter what. That's not a mod thing. That's just Fallout 4. Also, I wondered if anybody else was reporting issues because there was recently a Windows update. And I guess I probably shouldn't have done that because but whatever, because Windows updates lately have been kind of bullshit. But couldn't see anybody reporting any issues with the game. That felt like a long shot anyway. It might actually be why, but I was like, I'm not gonna worry about that. So today, with a computer coming up to life after being shut down for the night, went and checked a bunch of other stuff. Tried a few things in with like integrity checks on Fallout, in Steam. Did all kinds of stuff that I've done before. I I moved my game and all of the mods to a different drive, not my main drive, a different SSD, just to see. Like, I did everything I could think of and a bunch of stuff that is meaningless. Sporadically, 5-10 minutes into playing the game, crash the desktop. Complete crash the desktop. Just stop working. So I have called an audible, and I will no longer be showcasing some Fallout 4 mods on Tuesday. This coming Tuesday. I did have plans to do that, but I have made the decision to not do that anymore. And instead, I am going to show the 2 Joshi matches that I planned to show if they had hit the modern Joshi. Because when I do Pat Watches Wrestling, it's often older matches, and so I want to do 2 that are only a couple years old. Let me quickly look at the because I have the years written down here. The times are wait, where's the, if I do Feb, come on, there it is. Feb, subathon, notes. One of these matches is from 2025 and the other is from 2024. So very modern. A look at some of the best Joshi working today. Some on the indies and also in Stardom, and then also some Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling wrestlers. So I have decided to just say fuck it and call an audible. I have deleted. I even deleted Vortex because I don't use it for anything else. But if I find something from Nexus Mods, another game that I want to mod, I can just go in. But yeah. Goodbye, Fallout 4. You worked fine until you fucking didn't. Lord Crasher says, I was also playing some Fallout 4, and the one quest that bugged out anytime I tried to get it resolved itself, as the quest giver just showed up when I left my house and gave me the item to start the quest with no fuss. Nice! It's nice when they fix themselves. I had a bug where I was supposed to kill a courser, but they were like hidden in the walls. So I couldn't get them. I could aggro them, but they didn't reveal themselves and I couldn't kill them. So I just couldn't finish that quest. It was like, go take out these coursers because it's after the game. Like, go kill this thing for me. And I was like, oh, I'll do that. But I couldn't do it because I couldn't find them. Which is okay. It's not the end of the world. There we go. Couldn't get these pieces apart. They were too stuck together. But yeah, I wish that I could have done the showcase of them. If we had hit that point in the subathon, it wouldn't have crashed because it didn't start crashing until literally yesterday. So it would have been fine up until then. It's just, unfortunately, a stroke of bad luck on my end that is the situation that I've found myself in. Very frustrated by that because I wanted to show the last mod that I got, which I don't blame because I didn't see any comment. I looked in the comments on that mod. Somebody did, based on the Fallout TV show, Season 2, NCR Power Armor. Did a mod that was to mimic that, which is a great looking mod. And so I thought it was that mod, but I didn't see any comments about anyone else having issues, so I don't think it was that mod. It might have been that mod conflicting with another mod, but then caused like a catastrophic issue. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll do a fresh install of it with new mods and just try again, but I don't really have any desire to do that right now anyway, because I was playing a lot of it, so I kind of don't want to go back to it. But it's a bummer because I had cool mods. I had like besides all the stuff regular in the game, I had some other stuff going on. I wanted to show off all the cheats because I have the cheat terminal. So I had basically I had God mode in there without having to type in God mode all the time in the GEC. You could just do it whenever, and it was very convenient to just have that, go over. And there was a whole, I had a whole like subquest thing going. I had the new from the Fallout show, the T60, which is a 44 caliber pistol, which is a great silenced weapon from the TV show, which got added to Bethesda, put that out for free for people to grab. And I was like, oh, shit, yeah. Okay. I wanted to showcase all that stuff, but I don't get to, and it's okay. A lot of the nonsense that was going on in there. And also, like, there are people that haven't played that game in a long time that didn't know that, like, when they did the enhanced edition and the anniversary edition, they put in a subquest in there, the Enclave. There's like a small little outfit of the Enclave out there, and so you can get fucking Enclave power armor that just looks fucking rad, which was just like kind of fun to be in there again. Okay, sorry. Had an itch on the inside of my ear. That's very frustrating. All right, let's put this in here. This goes in like this, I believe. Yeah. It's going to be annoying if that was wrong, but I don't know how that could be not be. Actually, well, apparently that was partially wrong. So let's pop that out. I think it'll be fine, but I want to make sure I do it properly. Okay. It was slightly wrong. I bet it would have been fine, but better safe than sorry. I want to find out now if I've done something wrong than later. And then I just have to do this. Came off. All right. Okay, so let's fix this. All right, so then this wants it to be like this, slightly different. You can all do a run like that one anime directed who has thousands of hours but has never touched the story quest after leaving the vault. Yes, there was a whole story about that, about he's 10,000 hours and he just goes around and kills. He just kills like raiders. He just fucks around and fucks up raiders, and also the Brotherhood of Steel. He hates the Brotherhood of Steel. And I respect it, understand it. I let the Brotherhood of Steel live. I just don't interact with them. But I also understand and respect the attack on sight. But I just, I'm like fine with them. I literally don't. I interact with them enough to get into the police station in order to, or whatever station that is, in order to get in Cambridge, in order to get the gun that I wanted. And that's the extent of it. But yes, you could do that. All right, now is the part of the stream where we're going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel and everything we do here. Everybody in my vault is dead, but I never engage with the main quest and only kill raiders in Brotherhood of Steel to max out my level. Indeed. It's a good name for a light novel. If you're not a subscriber currently, being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. I'm going to give you a couple ways to help me out if you'd like. First and foremost, you can become a subscriber. As I said, you get cool emotes. So if you are a subscriber, you can throw the emotes in the chat. You don't see ads during the stream at all. Before the stream, ad breaks, pre-roll ads. You don't get any of that. And you're supporting what I do. And it's easy because you're already here on Twitch and they probably have your card on file. So if you want to become a subscriber, that would be great. I would love that. No pressure. I'm going to talk about various ways you can support the channel, but all of them are optional, of course. That's the easiest because you're already here. You could join me on Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. My $10 patrons tomorrow will vote on what I'm working on next, because I imagine I will, if not finish this tonight, I will finish this on Monday. So I will need to start working on something else, and I'm going to put up like probably 3 high grades up on the wish or on the wish list, on the voting list, for them to choose from. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over my YouTube, of course, subscribing is free over there, and I would love for you to do that. You could also become a member, and for just $2 a month, you'll get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So a video that unfortunately didn't do particularly well on YouTube, you would have seen before other people saw it, which is cool. Yeah, I'm bummed that one's got like under 100 views, and lately my Kuma Baer videos have like over 1,000 views. But whatever. Hopefully someday people will see that one. It'll get to the right people. More about that later. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you just want to throw something in the tip jar, you could make a direct donation to my PayPal or my Ko-Fi. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and Lego sets and equipment. I was able to last year, at the end of last year, pick up a new adapter for my overhead camera, and it looks way better than my previous one. It's been so nice to be able to use that, and I haven't had to do a bunch of tweaks in OBS because the signal is way stronger, and that's because of your support, so thank you very much. Also, I picked this up last year, and now we're finally building it, so that's cool. Happy to work on that. Now, I have a backlog of stuff that I'm happy to work on. I've been having a good time working on it. This is from the backlog. I got some good stuff in there. The last few things I built were from the backlog. You could say, hey, Pat, don't build from your backlog. You, if you wanted to, could make me stop building that stuff and instead build the thing you want me to build by buying something for me to build from my Amazon wish list. I've got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive things, expensive things. I just added a new 3-in-1 that came out pretty recently, a hummingbird 3-in-1. So if you want to build some Lego birds, I could build that. It also has a bird, a butterfly, and a tropical fish, all in the same things, the 3-in-1. I put another classic class Transformers from Blokies or Blockies. Apparently it's Blockies, but I think Blokies is a better name. It's probably Blockies. But Blokees is Blokes. That's Blokes or Blokies. Anyway, I'll find out for real someday. But yeah, I built one. I built the Soundwave here. This Soundwave rules. I haven't moved it into my collection. It's been still here. I put a Starscream up because that would be neat to build that Starscream. But I got all kinds of things on the wish list. If you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you could buy it, and then I'll build it, and it'll jump the queue, and I'll make a dedicated video for my mailbag series. So consider that, huh? My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne. It is nice to have an alternative to Amazon for folks that don't want to use Amazon. I get you. Oops, I just dropped pumpkins. I'm going to pick up these pumpkins. My elbow hit these pumpkins and sent them to the floor, so I'm going to move them so that doesn't happen again, because that would be annoying. So yeah, Throne, USA Gundam Store. If you want to support me financially, that would be so rad if you wanted to. And you don't want to subscribe, you don't want to buy something on Amazon, I totally understand, I totally get it. If you want to get me a model kit and do it in the most convoluted, complicated way possible, I'll give you that chance. You go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card, then you send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Mastodon, or I should say not Twitter, don't do Twitter, but go to Blue Sky with a gift card code that you got from buying a gift card from USA Gundam Store, because you get in your email. You can send it to me, and then I'll buy something from USA Gundam Store. That is a way to support me financially. That is wild. That is a wild thing you could do if you wanted to. People have. So if you want to do that, you could. If you want to support me but not spend any money, I got a Discord. Would love to see you in the Discord. We had a few new people come in pretty recently. It's nice to have them. They're welcome there. You're welcome as well. Let's see. Couple video links. I will have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday, but the most recent one, obviously still good if you haven't seen the most recent Pat Bear's Anime Club, it is me talking about anime that I finished. I finished every episode of it, but I did not enjoy the anime, and I had various reasons for why I finished it. So take a look at that video. And then Kuma Baer. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. All throughout the month of February, I am recommending some anime that is romance anime. Mostly romantic comedy, some dramas, but romance anime. And I talked about the heavy on the comedy and light on the romance, but still a romance show, Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, which unfortunately is not hitting hard. The algorithm didn't enjoy it, didn't recommend it to people like it usually does. Which is a shame. I want to check. I want to check the number. It was under 100 the last time I looked. So I believe it is still at that. So I just want to quickly check here. Gotta go to the shorts tab. Let's see. Yep, 95 views. Now, obviously, it's been up for longer than a couple days, but the previous week was 1,300 views. And so this one has not seen a lot of people. It is the worst viewed video I've had this year because, and it is somehow, it has less views than After War Gundam X, which was in December and did not hit. I don't know if it was because war was in the title. I don't know why. I don't know why sometimes they don't hit. Why didn't the Apothecary Diaries hit? That's an incredibly popular anime. You think that one would have hit some people. I know why New Panting and Stocking with Garter Belt didn't hit, but like, what? It's unbelievably frustrating. It means the next one that I'm recommending also might not hit with people because it takes like a week to get my numbers back up, which is a shame. It's frustrating. Anyway, watch that video if you haven't. Let me break 100. Help me out. Get me to 100 views. So I didn't talk about the anime I've been watching on Thursday because we had a big raid, and so I didn't talk about anime there. So I'm going to do 3 shows. I'm going to talk about Isekai Office Worker, Frieren, and Easygoing Character Defense by the Optimistic Lord. I'm going to talk about 3 of those today. And then on Monday, I'll talk about A Gentle Noble's Vacation recommendation because I'm 2 episodes behind on that. I've watched them, I just haven't covered it. And Noble Reincarnation. So Manga Monday, I have to wait 1 more week. So that way I can get caught back up. But I didn't want to, so because I do have 2 episodes of that one show to talk about, so we'll wait for that. But in order to talk about that anime, what needs to happen now is I got to get a bunch of water. I got to drink water. I'm actually really parched right now. So I got to drink some water. We need to get back to the overhead camera, and we need to dramatically transition to that. And we'll do all of that in just a second here, sorry. We'll do all of those things right now. All right. So we've got to, let me drink a little bit more. I was on a long phone call like an hour before the stream, and I could feel my voice getting weird. I haven't been doing over the past couple of days vocal warm-ups, but I've been practicing the songs I'm going to sing on Tuesday because I don't want to lose the song. There's a couple that are like got some difficult things going on in them, and I don't want to lose those songs. So I have been practicing, and my voice has been suffering for it. So I got to do more vocal warm-ups. Tomorrow's a rest day where I'm not going to really do much with my voice, and then Wednesday or Monday I'll do proper vocal warm-ups, practice some songs, and then be okay for stream on Monday and stream on Tuesday. Because basically the idea for Tuesday is I'm going to sing some songs. I have 5 songs to sing. And then I'm going to show some Joshi wrestling, with the idea that, okay, well, I can, if needed, like not talk as much. Especially, there's one show that has English commentary. So one show does not have any commentary at all. One has English commentary. So like, I can just do that. It's kind of fun to put them together because I'm going to do an archive on archive.org, and I am not going to do an archive on YouTube because the songs are going to get like DMCA'd and the videos will probably also get DMCA'd. So, so I'm not going to bother with Tuesday with a regular archive, but I will upload to archive.org instead, which I feel like is a fine way to do it. I have thought about maybe uploading it to Patreon and just making it visible to anyone that wants it. I've thought about doing that, but I think I'm just going to do it to archive.org instead, which I did with the WCW wrestling thing, the Power Link thing I had to do for that. So they'll exist. People will be able to go and look at them. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about now is some anime. So let's talk about it. Episode 6 of Isekai Office Worker. As you might remember, our main character is in fucking trouble here. I wish Unjan was here because I know Unjan is watching the show. But yeah, our main character is in a bit of business here. They're in the woods dealing with the miasma that is affecting their area. It's the whole reason they summoned the Saintus. He is going to be exposed to. He's got a protective barrier around him because of his lover, Aresh, protecting him. But he's still our guy. Shinichiro is still exposed to a lot of this miasma, and it's obviously very bad for him. So Yua is clearing it. She collapses. She cannot keep going. She is not strong enough to do this. The fact that the prince pressured her to do this in the first place, and then also tried to use it as, like, obviously it's a secondary thing that he did it to make Shinichiro either look bad or expose him to danger. Unclear exactly what happened there, but it's very clear that Yua is overwhelmed. Apparently, our guy Shinichiro had a strategy in mind. He had a plan for if this happened. Because they have been experimenting. He made a deal with the sorcery department for an experiment in case Yua failed. And that obviously pisses off the prince because it's like, you didn't have faith in the Saintus. Never mind the fact that it did fucking fail, my guy. Like, it did fail. All right, so this needs to go on here. This is actually kind of annoying to do. Oops, that fell off. My hands are not tiny enough to make that really easy here. Wish we did these first and then did these later, but whatever. Okay, we'll do it like that. And replace that there, and it goes there. Yeah, that's actually kind of annoying, but whatever. And then the other one goes on the one on this side. So again, we'll pull it all the way over. All right. Yeah. I kind of have to like take this up and off to get these on. Not ideal, I'll tell you that. But if I had like tiny fingers, that would be obviously easier. All right, so they have experiment to make barriers, artificial barriers around the trees, these demon trees. So instead of having to do barriers around the whole area, you just put barriers around the trees that make the miasma, limiting the amount of miasma that can come out. And Aresh is just like, damn, that's fucking smart. What? Nobody's ever thought of that. Apparently, no one's ever really thought of this as a possible solution. Because Shinichiro's just like, yeah, I know. You just always summon a saint or a saintess from another world and make it their problem. I'm trying to come up with a solution that means that you wouldn't have to keep doing that. Also, Shinichiro is like, in talking to him about that and reminding him like, yeah, I'm trying to solve this problem where you kidnap people. He's like, Aresh doesn't, feels responsibility for that at some point. So finally, our guy Shinichiro is like, we're probably gonna have to talk about like the feelings he has and all of that. Like, we're probably gonna have to have a conversation at some point, which is good. At least he recognized that. The king loves Shinichiro's idea, and of course, there are nobles that don't love it because they're like, it undermines the Sanctus, it undermines the Holy Maiden theory and all of that. And he's like, hey, I have evidence. So basically, he gives like a presentation where he's just like, look, this is a cheap plan compared to the cost of summoning someone and then supporting her for the rest of her life. This plan is just like he goes the route of like, this plan is cheaper. This is a much cheaper plan of attack here with similar results. And then Yua speaks up. Now, previously, Yua got mad every time that Shinichiro tried to be like, unfortunately, a little too straightforward of like, hey, don't you were kidnapped, we were kidnapped. Don't take everything they say as gospel, and you got to look out for yourself. She believed a lot of the stuff the prince was saying. Now that she had her first experience out in the wild, outside of the everyone telling her how great she was, she kind of broke down and had a moment to be like, I miss my family. I want to go back. It's actually like, it's a character we don't have a lot of Yua in this, and so I don't have like an attachment per se to her, but this is a really powerful scene where we get to see this young lady. I think we don't see a lot of it. Like, a lot of these young people summoned to another world are either like mistreated and looking for revenge, or say like, yeah, we need to do the right thing and we need to help people. And you don't honestly get to see a lot of, damn, dude, this sucks. And apparently Shinichiro, in his free time, has been researching ways to return to Japan, a return spell. Like, that's his plan. And one of his plans is, we get you to have these barriers so you don't need to summon people, and then maybe we can do this. But he would need more manpower and money and research time. And the king, who obviously did the summoning, is still seemingly a pretty thoughtful person. Just like kind of recognizes, oh, this guy who we summoned by mistake and gave a job just because he asked for a job, is trying to replace the Holy Maiden with magical technology, improve life for the kingdom, and save money for the kingdom. And then the episode ends with Yua asking for permission to leave the castle once she's done cleaning up the miasma so that she can get a normal job, because she doesn't want to be the Holy Maiden anymore, which stuns the prince and is probably like, hey, that's episode 6 of 12. The prince isn't going to like take this lying down because he's, a shithead prince that sees himself with the Holy Maiden and as the next king with her by his side and all that shit. And this fucking bookworm dude is ruining everything. So I imagine things are going to get rough for our guy, Shinichiro. Yeah, good episode. We're finally starting to see Shinichiro do stuff outside of, like, look, was it the gayest of the episodes so far? No, by far not. We did have a moment where he was like, I'm probably gonna have to talk to this. We're probably gonna have to talk about this stuff, huh? Which is good that he's thinking about that. But yeah, there wasn't like a lot of, there was no BL in this episode. Let's just say, but we'll get more of that in the next episode, I imagine, or maybe we won't right away. But yeah, good solid episode. Vacation, Noble Vacation. We'll talk about that on Monday. There's some pretty boy antics going on in those episodes. All right, and then we're almost done with bag 3, so we're going to open up bag 4. As I said, I don't think we're going to finish this tonight, but we might. But if we don't finish tonight, we'll get very close to finishing it. And then we'll continue on from there. So yeah, Frieren. Obviously, the date stuff is over. That did not go great. We had the date stuff. We had the flashback to Himmel, which was really nice because we hadn't seen Himmel in a while. The explanation of why they're taking the path they're taking, because they can help people along the way, because that's what Himmel wanted to do. All that stuff is continuing, so we're getting more of that in the last episode. We are in the Baer region. Bier, Beer region of the Northern Plateau. And it's named that, maybe not coincidentally, because it is a place known for making beer. So they run into a dwarf named Foss, and Foss is like, I need your help. I need to find a legendary thing. So he commissions their help in order to find the bow shaft, which is a liquor served to emperors of the past. And it's supposedly there's some of this liquor is in a mine. And they find this mine, and they find an inscription that's in Elvish. And apparently it was sealed by an elf in the past. An elf in the past sealed this liquor in a with a strong barrier in a barrel for the future. And then Frieren's like, I mean, I could break the barrier, but that's going to take like 3 months because it's an elven barrier. So she's like, I don't know if I want to do this. That's going to be a lot of work and a lot of time. And then Foss is like, hey, I will give you 20 gold coins. And so the rest of the party are like, that's a lot of getting around money. That would set them all for a while. That would be smooth sailing for a bit. So they're kind of sold on the idea after they find out how much he would give them. And then we get a flashback to the elf that sealed this, Milliarde, who apparently she thought that the bow shaft, this liquor, didn't taste good. And she kind of sealed it up as like on a whim, like kind of as a joke. Like she didn't do it as this grand statement of honoring the past. She just kind of did it. This is like an elf thing. So eventually, Frieren does break the barrier, and everybody has some of the liquor. And Foss is like, yup. Yeah, all right, this does taste bad. Okay. But he got to share this priceless old liquor with the village, and everybody got to have some. And it's like, that's priceless. It was a lovely little sentiment, right? It was a fun little story and a fun little part of this, and just like, yeah, man, good company, good times, and can you put a price on a good experience? The good part of this episode. Then they take off, they head out, and they go to a fortress city that is run by the Norm Company. They handle logistics in the region. And so they have a city that has a lot of goods and services, the big commerce city. Then apparently Frieren knows a lot about this company. Apparently, at some point, she owed them money, and they are now collecting by capturing her for debt evasion. And they're like, what? The hero, someone from the hero's party owes you all this money? Like, what's going on? And it turns out the company is falling on hard times, and they need money to keep going. So they're like, we need your help. So it was just like, it was like a kind of a semi a ruse. They were like, look, we need to do something, and this is the solution we came up with, which is, hey, you help us. So they take her to a mine, and she, using magic, because they're like, you're gonna help us out for a long time to make money. And she's like, fine. She goes to the mine, uses magic to help the miners find a new some new veins of ores, silver ore, and basically she gets freed because she does like the equivalent of 300 years worth of work. Like, the amount of money she makes them is instantaneously insane. And so she basically buys her own freedom from enslavement. And that's the end of the episode, which is like very fucking Frieren. It is unbelievably Frieren to be like, oh yeah, you have outstanding debt. We're going to milk you for everything you're worth. What? You solved all our problems kind of immediately in a somewhat silly way. Oh shit. All right, cool. Thanks, Frieren. Good bit of business. Good episode. This is the shit I love. I do I wish the date had gone well? Yeah, because you ship, do I ship these two young people that spend all their time together and are probably going to end up together? Yeah, certainly I do. But I'm also totally okay with an episode where we just have some good, clean, silly adventuring. A whole episode about debts and spending time together with drinking bad alcohol. It's good times. That was a fun episode. All right. Let's see. One more show to talk about here. Then we'll chat. We haven't done this in a while. We'll chat with you, the audience, about what you're up to. But first, the last episode, they helped a bunch of people. They helped a bunch of half-fish people. And one of them wants to... Now they have new partners in their country. But that does also involve one girl that wants to get married. And she is not giving up the idea. They're not giving up the idea that they would like him to be the new, the new leader of the village. A Rut, who is the young girl who was here to see if maybe there should be an alliance between the families, that has her own circumstances that we saw a little bit of, that has like a weird power that people don't know, that don't think is that cool. She is catching feelings for our guy Van, our main character. And then we saw this bit of some of the adventurers that live there are running into some issues. Oh shit, did I do this wrong? I did do this wrong. Okay. Yeah, all right. I did this wrong. This has got to go like that. And this has got to go like that. And then these go like that. This is an easy fix. There's basically another piece that's going to go in here and like kind of lock this part of the branch tree in. And so I have to do this properly. There. Now it's locked and this should be stable. But I had to do it like this. And I was doing it the wrong way. And also, yeah, so we had some characters who were being chased, and we don't know what happened with that, but we'll learn a little bit in this episode, a little bit what's going on. He's doing stuff in the village. We have Panamera, who is the She is the person. She's related to Rut and has alliance, and she is there. She is the big busty lady, the big like the night lady, with a K, night lady. And she is just like very impressed with Van's abilities and the weapons that he produces. There's a demonstration of some of them, and she's like, I would love to buy these. And Van is like, I do not want to sell them. And then she's like, well, what about like a trade? And he's like, okay, yeah, sure, all right. Like you can call in a favor, neighbors supporting neighbors. And also she wants some of the bolts for the ballista and maybe even some of the weapons, hand weapons. Then we find out what Ortho and the rest of his party are running from, which is a forest dragon. Oh, fuck. A dragon is coming. This is not necessarily the big, huge ancient dragon, but it is still a dragon, and that's still a fucking nightmare. Ortho is trying to chase it away from the village, and Van is like, nah. We're gonna fight this thing. We got this. We're gonna make this happen. We'll see this through. And Panamera is like, I've got my soldiers. Like, let's do this thing. Let's make this happen. Let's see. Van gets ready to fire the ballista, and Panamera uses her fire magic. She's got fire magic, so she uses that to like go and take on the dragon to at least slow it down. And that gets Ortho's group to safety, which is nice because that way we get some of our cool adventurer friends to safety. Esparta, who is the cool older butler with a mysterious past, uses his earth magic to buy them even more time. But he can't run away because he's using the earth magic. Van makes a plan with everybody to fight the dragon, and it's like they weaken the dragon enough. They haven't been able to beat the dragon, but they've at least been able to weaken it some. And then D uses her abilities with sword to slice off its head. And then he and D and Esparta get full credit for killing the dragon. And then Van is like psyched about protecting the village, but he's also excited about upgrades he can make to the ballista because it didn't kill a dragon, and he thinks he can figure out a way to do that. Panamera, we get some flashes of her backstory. None of it's super important, but it is there at who she is. But this leads her to form a full-time alliance with Van, which is now official and will be real good for her support to have that, and real good for him to have the backing of someone with the strength of Panamera. So it's a good bit of business. And then eventually we'll see what goes on with a Rut, and if they make that official as well, the engagement, which is expected to be a thing. Good episode. The fight was really good. The dragon didn't look particularly great, but this show definitely doesn't have a big budget. They spend a lot of their money seemingly on the like cool effects of creation magic, and they don't have a lot of money to spend on making a dragon look, one episode dragon look good. And it's like, is that ideal? No. Is it understandable? Yeah, it's understandable. So it's not the end of the world. I wish it looked better, but it didn't look bad. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I feel like I haven't talked to you about that stuff in a while, so I'd love to hear from you. As I said, I had been playing Fallout 4. I have now got rid of it, so I need a game to really dig my heels into. I started up again. I did a run today of Nubby's Number Factory, which I have not played in quite some time. So it was nice to have a moment in Nubby. That was a nice little time for me to get back into that. So I had fun in that. And then, yeah, I'm going to figure out what my, like, put a couple hours in every couple days game is going to be. I don't have one of those right now. That was Fallout 4 with mods. So I do need a replacement. And a friend of mine was like, "Oh, so you're going to download Fallout New Vegas?" And I was like, "No, I'm not going to go back to Fallout New Vegas. That's not what I'm going to do." But it was a funny suggestion. That's the thing I should get back into was New Vegas. But I don't know what it's going to be. But I do need something. So yeah, right now I'm just like watching some anime. I'll tell you this: I got High Dive again. I was just talking literally on Thursday about how I didn't have High Dive this season. Hey, turns out an anime that was that didn't get picked up when it first came out just got picked up by High Dive, and all of the episodes are out. And I was like, oh shit. Pon no Michi is now on High Dive, subtitled on High Dive, and I was like, let me look up when that came out. And I was like, oh shit, I want to watch that. So I have now watched 2 episodes of Pon no Michi, and I'm going to keep watching it. When did that come out? That came out, that ran September 1st to March 1st. It had that's the manga. Sorry, that's the manga. It ran January 6th to March 23rd, 2024. That's what it was. I'm sorry. I was like, yeah. It didn't have that long of a run in manga. It was a year and change. But it had, it just never got picked up. And nobody really knows why. It just didn't run in the United States. And now the anime is all 12 episodes are out. And I'm very excited about it. It's about a girl that ends up hanging out at her father's abandoned mahjong parlor. And so her and her friends learn about mahjong. And it's, so far, very fucking cute and fun. So I have been enjoying that. Again, 2 episodes in, but I'm liking it. So I got High Dive, so I could watch that. And so also, I will, I'm going to try Hell Mode because I like that manga. That is an enjoyable manga. So I will watch some of Hell Mode. I'm probably only going to have High Dive for a month, so I won't finish Hell Mode, but I did want to watch Pon no Michi because, like I said, I like a girls doing things anime, and it's one of those. So, and it's seemingly a good one of those. Lashbrook says, I watched Predator Badlands, and that was a very fun action movie. I do want to see that at some point. Which is another good Dan Trachtenberg Predator movie. Also watched Best in Show, and that movie is so good. Fuck yeah! Lord Crash did Best in Show rules. Best in Show and Mighty Wind. Very fucking hard to beat. Very fucking hard to beat, those two. Just two exceptional movies. Dirty bought a truck in ATS, American Truck Simulator, so I could participate in the Valentine's event, and I'm currently filling out the maps in Louisiana and Arkansas. Also, hi, Dirty, welcome. Also playing a Drag Quest 7 and, Animal Crossing. So nice. Animal Crossing New Horizon. Great. Good to hear. And I'm glad you're getting some truck simulating in. Lord Crashton loves Fred Willard on commentary asking the dumbest questions to his British co-host. Yes. God damn. Fred Willard fucking kills it in that movie. Everyone kills that movie. But he really does. He's unbelievably good in that movie. God. And then Lashbrook says, I watched Thief today, and aside from the whole romance, that movie rules. thinking about watching Heat tomorrow. Heat is very good. Heat, I don't know if you've heard this before or not, but Heat, pretty fucking good movie. Oh, I'm not centered, so you can see what I'm doing. Sorry. Yeah, Heat, pretty fucking rad. Already posted about it, but I've got the upper torso of the G-Quux built. Taking a bit of a break before tackling the rest. Yes, the stickers, the red stickers on the G-Quux, I eventually just stopped doing because I was like, I don't care. I don't think it looks much better with it. I don't like these. Of the kits that I have built from the show, that's my least favorite. I mean, I've only built 3, but that is my least favorite of the ones about. The Red Gundam, I think, is still pretty fucking cool. I do have the Bakata. Bakata is a kit in my backlog. I should put that on as a option for my $10 patrons to vote. Bakata's Gelgoog. It's not my favorite Gelgoog because there's the Easy 8 colors Gelgoog that's out there, but I don't have that one. I have the Bakata one because for whatever reason, that one was reasonably priced. All right, so these go like here. Okay. And then this goes like this. And this goes like this. But yeah, I should put that on my poll for my patrons tomorrow to figure out what I'm starting next, because they might want me to build that. I'll put a few things up. Wrong piece. I don't have a lot. My backlog is not crazy right now. I am going to be picking up a couple things from Amazon soon. I'm waiting for a check to roll in. Right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, honestly, I have 5 high grades and a mega brick kit. So I have 6 things to build, and then a rowlet. But that rowlet's going to take like half an hour tops. Like that rowlet's not going to take any time at all. It's a quick build. So I don't even count that. But I have 6. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 high grades and a mega, which will probably only be a stream and change for that. But the Ultron Gundam should take a while to build because it's a lot of parts. The Arios Gundam should take a minute. Bakata won't take long. The GM3 will take a little time. The Lightning Z Gundam, I should say. It's not the Lightning Gundam, it's the Lightning Z Gundam. That'll also take a little time. So a couple of the high grades I have should take some time. Not all of them, but some of them should take a few minutes to build. So that's good. I want them to be things that take a little bit of time to put together. We're not going to finish this tonight, but we will finish this up on Monday and then start something new, which is good. This was a nice chill build. I have enjoyed my time with it. We're not done with it yet, of course, but we're getting there. There's only so many steps left on this. But this has been a fun build. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've had it in my backlog for a bit. I guess I should I'm going to pick up a couple things because once a check clears, which should be Monday, I should have another Lego set because right now I only have the mega brick kit. I don't have any Lego in my backlog. So I'll look to see about that because it's nice to have some Lego as an option. This has been my Lego option for a while, and it finally won the poll. But I've been meaning to do it. I've done this on occasion. Basically, what I don't want to do is what I ended up doing with a kit at the end of last year was eventually I just built it. I just said, hey, I want to do this next. I'm going to do that more often. I don't want something to be in my backlog for a year, right? Yeah, it might not be the most impressive thing. It might not be the thing that people are jazzed about, but I do think that every once in a while I'm just going to build a thing that I want to build because I want to build it and I don't want it to be in my backlog. I got it because I wanted to put it together. So I'm not going to try to do that all the time because I do want to respect the folks that are paying me $10 a month, and one of the things they get for that $10 a month is to vote on what I build. So I want to honor those people, but like every once in a while, I'm just gonna be like, this hasn't won. Like the Ultron Gundam I've had for now a bit. That is a kit that originally was a premium Bandai kit, and then they released it. They, if you're unaware, all of they did. The second version of the heavy arms, the 2-barrel heavy arms, they did the Ultron Gundam, the Death Scythe Hell, the Death Scythe Hell, non-custom Death Scythe Hell. They did versions of those that were premium Bandai kits, and now they're not premium anymore. They did a wide release of them, so you can pick all 3 of those up now in your local stores and all that, or on Amazon or whatever. And so that's why I got that Ultron. I didn't originally get it when it was a premium kit. So I would like to put it together at some point. I think it would be nice to put that together. All right. So we're going to leave off there. We have a few more steps to do. We have to build a little golden boat. We got these really nice. Does it show up okay on here? It shows up okay on here. This gold looks really fucking good. So, and you can kind of see that. But yeah, made good progress on the tree. I'll turn it like this so you can really see it. The money tree. It's looking pretty great. I'm pretty psyched about it here. I'm happy to put this together. I think this is a pretty neat thing. But I will finish this up on Monday and then start something new. And I think we're going to call the stream there. We are going to go on a raid. Love a good complex Lego build. Yes, this one is short, but like dense. It is a dense kit. And I like that now and again to have something a little dense. But we are going to go raid. I'm going to go find someone doing cool stuff, and we're going to spend some time with them. I encourage you to come along on this raid if you would like to. We'll see who is streaming right now that we want to go hang out with, because we always end with a raid. Noam John here to back me up on that, but that is the true. And then I'm going to watch All Elite Wrestling Collision, which is Grand Slam Australia. I'm going to watch Grand Slam Australia. That'll be what I do tonight. Let's go hang out with Giant Bomb Forever. It's been a minute since we went Giant Bomb Forever. Tomorrow they're gonna have Olympics themed stuff from the archive. Right now they're watching a press conference. They're talking over a press conference from 2015, the Sony press conference. So that's cool. We'll go hang out with that. Go see the bottom. Let's see what's going on. Always nice to see a video that features Austin, because Austin fucking rules. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. We're going to go on this raid that we're going to go, and I'm going to go watch wrestling after that. Please come back on on Monday. It's Saturday right now. Come back on Monday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, as I finish this Lego set, this fun build Lego, and then we start working on something else. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye.